Born into a legacy of legendary fighters, Baki's physical prowess is sculpted through years of relentless training. Witness the echoes of each strike, the precision of every move, and the unwavering determination that forges a martial artist beyond compare. From the moment he was born, Baki Hanma's life was destined to be extraordinary. His father, Yujiro Hanma, was the world's strongest fighter, a man of unparalleled strength and ferocity. Baki's mother, Emi Akazawa, recognized the potential that lay dormant within her son and vowed to nurture his talents. Under Emi's watchful eye, Baki was subjected to a rigorous training regimen from an early age. He was tutored by the world's most renowned martial arts instructors, who pushed him to his limits. Baki's days were filled with intense physical training, mental exercises, and strategic drills. He excelled in every discipline, quickly absorbing the knowledge and techniques imparted upon him. Baki's training ground was not confined to traditional dojo settings. He was encouraged to explore the world and test his skills against the most formidable opponents he could find. He sought out the toughest fighters in underground arenas, engaging in brutal battles that pushed him to the brink of defeat. Through these trials, Baki's strength and resilience grew exponentially. Despite his relentless pursuit of strength, Baki's ultimate goal was not to surpass his father in power. He yearned for Yujiro's acceptance and love, something that had eluded him since childhood. Baki believed that by becoming as strong as his father, he could finally earn the respect he craved. As Baki matured, he began to question the traditional methods of martial arts training. He felt that these techniques were limiting his potential and preventing him from reaching his true strength. Inspired by his father's unorthodox approach, Baki embarked on a journey to forge his own path. He ventured into the wilderness, seeking out the most extreme environments in which to train. He faced off against wild animals, testing his reflexes and instincts against the raw power of nature. He engaged in grueling physical challenges, pushing his body to its limits to unlock its hidden potential. Along the way, Baki encountered a myriad of powerful fighters, each with their own unique skills and techniques. He sparred with them, learning from their strengths and weaknesses. These encounters served as invaluable lessons, refining Baki's fighting style and expanding his martial arts repertoire. As Baki prepared to face his formidable father, Yujiro, a palpable tension hung heavy in the air. Despite years of relentless training, Baki couldn't escape the chilling dread that gripped him. He was acutely aware that this was no ordinary contest, a battle he was far from ready to conquer. From the moment the fight began, it was clear that Yujiro was in a class of his own. Baki's attacks, though powerful, seemed to have no effect on his father, who effortlessly deflected and evaded every blow. Yujiro, on the other hand, moved with a predatory grace, his strikes landing with devastating impact. Baki fought valiantly, refusing to give up despite the overwhelming odds. He poured every ounce of his strength and determination into the battle, but it was a futile effort. Yujiro was simply too powerful, too skilled, too relentless. As the fight wore on, Baki's body began to crumble under the onslaught. Baki could withstand no more. He collapsed to the ground, his body a battered and broken shell. Yujiro stood over him, his expression a mix of pride and disappointment. He had been impressed by his son's tenacity, but he was also frustrated by his weakness. As Yujiro was about to deliver the final blow, Emi, Baki's mother, rushed to her son's side, fearing for his life. She landed a punch to Yujiro's face, followed by a kick to his groin, but to no avail. In a last-ditch effort, she bit his shoulder hard, hoping to inflict some damage, but her bite was also ineffective. In a sudden move, Yujiro grabbed her by the back and squeezed with such force that he broke her spine. He threw her to the ground without a second thought, and she died in Baki's arms. Driven by the loss of his mother, Baki embarks on a quest to test his strength against formidable opponents, vowing to one day surpass his legendary father, Yujiro Hanma. Baki, inheriting his father's exceptional strength, possesses the formidable demon back technique, which grants him superhuman abilities and strikes fear into the hearts of his adversaries. This unique trait, exclusive to the Hanma bloodline, is manifested by the extreme flexing of back muscles into a demon-like visage, enhancing the user's strength, speed, endurance, and durability to incredible levels. Only 3 Hanmas have demonstrated the demon back: Yujiro Hanma, Yujiro Hanma, and Baki Hanma. Yujiro has used this technique against formidable opponents such as Dupo Orochi and Kaku Kaio, and its overwhelming power is often seen as unfair. However, Yujiro considers it a vital item in his repertoire and uses it at his discretion. Baki Hanma is far more reserved about using this genetic gift. He understands the potential immorality behind it, and his gentle nature stops him from using it unless absolutely necessary. He has only used its full potential a couple of times, once in his fight against Jack Hanma in the underground arena, and then again in his battle against his father. Unfortunately, no one can have a demon face in real life. It is not a matter of how toned or muscular they are, but rather an anatomical impossibility. The muscles needed to form such a visage simply do not exist. In addition to his demon back, Baki also has a very unique brain that looks like the face of a demon. No one other than him in this series is shown to have a brain like this, not even his father and grandfather. The first person to discover this mind was Dr. Koriha, a famous doctor and friend of the Hanma family. He was concerned about Baki's health after observing his battle against Pickle. He believed that an 18-year-old should not live such a lifestyle, and he asked Baki to have his head examined. Kureha is shocked and concerned after seeing Baki's test results. He has never seen anything like it before in his entire life. It turns out that Baki's frontal lobe is in the shape of a terrifying face of a demon. Kureha immediately contacts his friend, Dr. Mogi, and tells him that they must meet immediately. He believes that Baki's unique brain may hold the key to understanding his incredible strength and potential. When the famous neurologist Mogi came to Korea to perform an analysis of Baki's brain, he was surprised by what he saw and confirmed that he had never seen such a brain in his life, making him unable to provide a direct explanation for it. Both Mogi and the Korean specialist shared the belief that a person's lifestyle should not normally affect the structure of the brain. Mogi suggested the idea that the patient must possess extraordinary power, which was confirmed by the Korean specialist. Although they were unable to conclusively explain why the patient's brain took on a demonic form, they developed a few theories. One hypothesis suggested that Baki family might have triggered the activation of the demon-like brain from birth. This theory drew from an incident in Yujiro Hanma's infancy, where he demonstrated telepathic communication skills and even directed his mother on how to carry and feed him. This led them to consider the possibility that the demon-like brain could be an exclusive ability of the Hanma family. Another theory suggested that Baki's brain underwent unique formation through intense training and combat. This was supported by the observation that Baki's brain showed much greater development than that of a normal human, and featured distinct abilities such as controlling blood flow. This indicates that his brain has been adapted for combat purposes. Mugi and the Korean specialist found Baki's brain a source of fascination. They agreed that it represented a unique case, offering valuable insights, and recognizing the importance of further study, agreed to continue examining his brain to gain a deeper understanding of the human brain and its potential. Baki may have awakened the demon brain during his fight against his brother Jack Hanma in the underground arena tournament, as he was particularly determined and focused on victory at that time. This coincides with the first activation of his demon back. Baki might have also unleashed the demon brain's power when Yujiro killed his mother. However, he didn't exhibit any noticeable physical enhancements afterward, suggesting that he didn't acquire the demon brain on that occasion. The demon brain serves as a catalyst, not directly granting Baki specific abilities like increased muscle mass or stamina. Instead, the demon brain's primary function is likely to eliminate reaction time. This explains Baki's ability to move at superhuman speeds and incapacitate opponents before they can react. For instance, his swift defeats of Biscuit Oliva and Musashi Miyamoto could be attributed to the demon brain's complete control over his body, eliminating the need for neural signals to travel from his brain to his muscles. This brain gives him extremely fast reaction times and the ability to visualize his opponent's movements with uncanny accuracy. Unlike his father, Yujiro, Baki cannot master any fighting style instantly, but he possesses an amazing ability to learn and adapt. This, coupled with the power of his demonic mind, allows him to quickly understand and effectively use various martial arts techniques. His fighting style, known as all-out fighting, is a dynamic blend of mixed martial arts, incorporating elements of karate, professional wrestling, judo, kempo, and jiu-jitsu. Baki's training methods are unorthodox and often involve shadowboxing against imaginary opponents, allowing him to anticipate their movements and identify their weaknesses before the actual fight. This, combined with his ability to learn quickly, makes him a formidable opponent, rivaling even his father's formidable skills. His strength continuously grows throughout the series. At the tender age of 13, Baki demonstrated his prowess by defeating 37 out of 100 thugs single-handedly. When confronting Kaoru Hanayama, he effortlessly overpowered several men restraining him and effortlessly kicked Hanayama's 250-pound desk out the window. He was able to withstand Hanayama's powerful punches, which were strong enough to shatter a fence. With a single punch, Baki could send Hanayama's 350-pound body flying 30 meters. Remarkably, Baki could fight for 12 hours straight against Hanayama without tiring. He even declared the 12-hour session a mere warm-up. By the age of 17, Baki had already established himself as the champion of the Tokyo Underground Dome. His strength continued to grow throughout the series, making it challenging to pinpoint his exact level of power. In the aftermath of his encounter with the formidable Yanagi, Baki found himself embroiled in the intense competition of the Chinese tournament. Undeterred by the lingering effects of Yanagi's poison, Baki embarked on a remarkable journey of physical transformation, his body undergoing a profound metamorphosis that revitalized his very being. As he emerged from this transformative process, Baki was struck by a newfound lightness, his body feeling as if it could effortlessly traverse the air. His encounter with Oliva Biscuit confirmed this, a towering giant of a man whose raw strength was said to rival that of armored dinosaurs. Baki, undeterred by Oliva's terrifying presence, confronted him head-on, and the clash of titans sent shockwaves through the foundations of the prison they fought in. Despite Oliva's relentless attack, Baki refused to give up. He absorbed the brute force of Oliva's strikes, his body adapting and becoming stronger with each strike. With his newfound power increase, Baki unleashed a flurry of strikes, sending Oliva falling to the ground in defeat. Baki's next formidable opponent was Pickle, a prehistoric caveman who had been awakened from the depths of time. Bickle's brutal force and barbarism were unlike anything Baki had ever encountered before. However, Baki remained steadfast in his stance, his determination driven by an unquenchable will to win. Pickle's attack was brutal, and his blows landed on Baki with the force of a thrust. But Baki, with his keen intelligence and unwavering spirit, studied Bickle's movements and identified his weaknesses. With a well-timed and perfectly executed strike, Baki struck Pickle's chin, sending the prehistoric beast crashing to the ground with ease. In this duel, Baki demonstrated his mastery of the 5 animal martial arts by seamlessly incorporating all of the dinosaur styles, creating the illusion that he was more magnificent than the prehistoric creatures. As the battle with Pickle neared its end, Baki was able to keep up with Pickle's speed and forcefully push him back. He boldly challenged Pickle to an all-out fight, but Baki ultimately suffered defeat when Pickle unexpectedly used a jujutsu technique, surprising Baki with his sudden Neanderthal move. Despite the loss, Baki left an indelible mark by instilling fear in Pickle. Before the final showdown between Baki and his father, his strength was terrifying. He had never reached this level before. Everyone feared him. At this stage of the series, Baki was ready to face his father, Yujiro. The battle was one of the most anticipated fights in the history of martial arts. The two were evenly matched for most of the fight, but Baki eventually unleashed his demon and was able to injure Yujiro for the first time. This was a major turning point in the fight, as it showed that Baki had finally managed to match Yujiro's strength as the strongest being alive. However, Yujiro was still too strong for Baki. He was able to withstand Baki's attacks and eventually delivered a decisive blow that knocked Baki out. Despite his loss, Baki proved to be a worthy opponent for Yujiro. He forced Yujiro to try harder than he had before, and he earned Yujiro's respect. Defeating Baki was a huge setback, but it also showed him the true extent of his potential. He realizes that he has to continue training and become stronger if he wants to defeat Yujiro. As the echoes of this epic struggle fade, Baki Hanma stands on the precipice of his destiny, a warrior whose journey is far from over. The legacy of the Hanma bloodline continues, echoing through the annals of martial arts history, leaving an indelible mark on the world of relentless combat and unyielding determination. The saga of Baki Hanma, a tale of strength, sacrifice, and the pursuit of an extraordinary legacy, lives on in the hearts of those who dare to dream beyond the limits of what seems humanly possible.